Welcome to Reseller Recap, where we talk all things reselling across multiple platforms. Join us for real-life discussions on how we crush the elusive work-life balance. Grab a coffee and join us now.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Reseller Recap with Jen, Emily, and Morgan. And today we're going to talk about Amazon seller tools. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about seller tools for Walmart. So now we're going to talk about Amazon. I think I'm kind of the only one still doing a lot of selling on Amazon. I think everybody else is doing some stuff on Walmart, but we're going to talk about when we sold on Amazon, what we use, or while we are still selling on Amazon, what we are currently using. So Emily, what are you doing with Amazon? Anything?
So I still have FBA inventory at Amazon, but I'm going to be focusing primarily on merchant on Amazon.
Okay.
So merchant on this like holidays. So back to school, I'll be focusing again. Sorry, I'm saying focusing a lot, but merchant.
You're just reminding yourself to focus.
focus. It's difficult today.
Focus.
So I really won't be doing much until back to school over there because I'm scaling WFS. I have Seller Amp. That is the main tool I am using on Amazon. Love a tool that can do everything. So Seller Amp is coming out with something for Walmart as well. And awesome. I do focus on one thing that can do a lot. And I know that can be bad. We talked about this before, how sometimes the bookkeeping, especially those softwares who try to do too much, can mess you over. Mm-hmm. So I should say that, but so far so good. But on Amazon, what do you need? You need a calculator, maybe a repricer when you get going. You need something to track your numbers. So I think those are probably the three areas. What do you guys think? Am I missing something? Probably something to help you list if you want to use a different software to get like shipments out. So yeah, right? Yeah. Am I thinking of everything?
Yeah, I think that's
it. Yeah, because I use one for sourcing, or I kind of have been like the second software besides Keepa. Like Keepa was one, so like I don't know. I just feel like everybody has Keepa. Like that's not a negotiable. Everybody just needs it because you need to see historical data to know what's selling and what's not, and what pricing has been and trajectory. Because can you buy early? Can you buy and hold? What does it look like? Mm-hmm. And I think then the next thing I got was kind of the all-in-one was like Inventory Lab. So because I was doing a lot of FBA, but I also had the calculator, the sourcing tool. Because of Scoutify, ScoutX, now it's Scout.io, and then
And what is your take on, is it Seller 365? Is that everything?
Yeah, 3 Colts bought Tactical Arbitrage and like a bunch of other softwares, including Inventory Lab. And so then now they're making like new versions of a lot of them. So like Tactical Arbitrage has like a 2.0 for like sourcing, but I tried it, but I just don't source and buy that way. Maybe because I'm just more RA, and it's really good for like OA. And I don't know. Anytime I try to do OA, I feel like I always get burned because everybody's seeing the same deals as me. Everybody's running the same reports. And I just feel like my stores a lot of times have like better deals than what I can find online. I feel like, what was it, like 2 years ago, we were talking about this, like there was really good online deals. Like it was weird. Like when we were kind of coming out of COVID, there must've been like extra inventory of things. And we were getting like really smoking good deals. But I feel like their buying has dialed back so much that it's like, that store overbought. And so then that store is marking down. Then they're not doing that across the board because that's not true of every, location. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right? I agree.
Am I just talking out of my...
No, I agree 1000%.
Okay.
Yeah. In regard to like online arbitrage, I mainly do like product research. So I do like Seller Amp for online arbitrage because like you can literally just right click on something from like Walmart or wherever. And if there is an Amazon listing, it'll pull it up, which is super convenient. Mm-hmm. So I'll do something like that. And then I'll see if it makes profit with that online price, or if it's like really close to making profit, I'll like keep it in mind or make a list. So then when I go in store, see if maybe that price is like cheaper. Mm-hmm. But I do a lot of my product research. I'm like you, Jen. I have gotten burned so bad on OA. I also get bored really quickly on OA because I feel like it's harder to find profitable products online than it is in store. Maybe I'm just like biased to RA. I don't know. But like, I feel like for every like 30 minutes that I'm doing OA, you're finding like one item where I'm in the store and I could be finding like 5 different items and then multiples of it. I'm not getting blocked by like quantity and all of that.
Yes. That's so frustrating.
I know a lot of people love OA, but I'm an RA girly and I think I will be for a long time.
I feel like maybe it's like the ADHD in us too. Like if I'm on OA, I'm opening like 5,000 browser windows. I get down like a rabbit hole and I'm like, where did I even start?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, go backwards. Like if I'm in a store, I'm like, okay, I'm in this toy aisle and like just
That's
stick
my
to this
focus.
aisle. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then I can go back to store and I'm like, okay, next aisle if I didn't get,
Yes. Also on the computer, I feel like there's just so many distractions anyway. Because you're like, oh, my email, let me check that really quick. And then you're like, oh, this. Like, I know for me personally, when I'm doing stuff, I actually just figured this out on Monday. So when I'm doing stuff on Walmart, like making a shipment, and like let's say an item has an issue and I'm like, dang it, like now I have to sell this on eBay or something. Well, then like I'll start digging in right then and there. Like, okay, what can I sell this on eBay? Knowing I'm not going to do the listing right then and there, but still. And then I'm like, oh wait, no, focus, back to WFS. And then like I'll go back and then I'll like, let's say I just happen to look at my catalog page. And then I was like, oh, why is this unpublished? So then now I'm going down the rabbit hole of like trying to figure out why this is price airing or whatever is wrong with it, opening cases. And then I'm like, oh wait, shoot, no, WFS, like refocus. And it's so bad. So I feel like a lot of the time I just do a lot better with RA. It's funny because in the mentorship group that I'm doing, I have a leads list. So I really had to like be like, sit down and do some research because I have to give leads. And honestly, I was like, oh, I'm killing this. And then I went to Target the other day and I was like, I didn't see this online. And then I was like, wait, let me take a picture. So I'm like taking all these pictures. And so now those, I haven't added those yet, but those will be the leads that I add. And I'm like, dang it, I'm just more productive in store. It's just what it is. The reality of the situation.
Well, what do you use? Do you use then the Seller Amp app in store?
I personally like the just the Amazon app in store. I do like the Seller Amp in store, but sometimes I get a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of information. Somebody just told me the other day though that you can like move your sections around and you can like close out stuff, so it's not as bad. So I haven't tried that yet, but I will. So I use the Amazon app and the Keepa app. A lot of people don't know that Keepa has an app for your phone. But it does, and it works pretty much the same as the desktop. So I'll use that. And then otherwise on like when I'm at home at the computer making shipments, I actually started using Amazon's platform for sending FBA shipments. I will say I have not sent a shipment since last Q4 because of all the confusing fees and whatnot. But the last few shipments that I did send, I used just Amazon because I couldn't justify paying for Inventory Lab, because I just wasn't doing FBA anymore. And then I forget what the other one is called, but I just couldn't justify paying the subscription price if I wasn't going to be sending them. And again, I only did FBA shipments for Q4. So I'm like, I'll just figure out Amazon. And actually it was very like smooth figuring it out and sending it in. I know in the past, like when I first started, it was very clunky, which is why Inventory Lab blew up for me. So yeah, those are really the only tools that I use Sellerboard for a finance dashboard. And yeah, I think those are the only tools that I use on Amazon. It's nice because these tools have been out for so long, so they've been able to like hone in and really like, okay, this doesn't work, but this does work. Whereas Walmart, a lot of these tools are new, and so it's like the world is ending when nothing works.
Right.
And you're just like, oh my gosh. Whereas like on Amazon, it's nice because you can, if Amazon, if the seller app stops working, I can go to Seller Amp and still get results. Or like if you have Inventory Lab, it comes with the Scoutify, then like you can go to Scoutify and still get results. Like there's nothing really like holding you back, where sometimes you don't see that on Walmart. Like if Walmart's down, then everything's down. So
I think a lot of them are working on Walmart stuff. So I mean, they know that there's a need, and everybody's been complaining for 3-4 years, however long we've all been on. So it'll be interesting to see kind of who comes to the front of the pack in that. So
I'm really, this is not Amazon related, but I'm really excited about Seller Amp coming out with their version for Walmart, because I just love like the information that they produce. I can't wait. I can't wait, because I think that that's going to make even like in-store sourcing just like easier. There are tools out there, but I think that a lot of them could use some work. So, and Seller Amp has been around for so long that I'm hoping that like when they come out, they just come out like no issues, just boom. So
I know, and I think Inventory Lab's working on a Walmart thing too. So I'm like, please, like, is that going to help us with WFS shipments? Is it also going to do book stuff? Like, I would love one platform for my books and know my numbers, because I'm so sick of having to manually pull those spreadsheets from Walmart right now and put all my data in there, and it's just such a waste of time.
I also think it would be nice to have another platform that does like your shipments, like Inventory Lab, but like for Walmart. Obviously there is a couple, or there's one I think out right now, but I think it would be nice to have like other options. Like you're not just married to one. So again, if one goes down, you have other options. So.
Well, with all these tools, most of them have free trials. So, I mean, Emily, I think you always are the one that preaches that, like, try them all, because you don't know what's going to work best for you and what you need and what you don't need and what's out there. So try them, but don't try them all at one time. Like, try one at a time. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need 6 free trials at one time. You're never going to get to them. So kind of see what they're like. So I know, because like I tried like Seller Board and I was like, okay, this is good. I like this, but I can't like change this number. Okay. Or I'd have to look at this differently. That's interesting. That's good to know. All right, let me try this, but I'm like, I think I still like the way my numbers look in Inventory Lab, just maybe because I've been using it for like 4 years.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of stuck because nobody wants to have to take a college course to relearn a new software.
Yes. And that's the downfall too, is like learning a new software always takes so much time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, who has time? Like, that's the one thing that none of us have. So it's like,
honestly, we've talked about this before, is like one of the last softwares you were like, oh no, it's super easy. It's also super glitchy. And so I'm like, wait a minute, is there a correlation there between too easy and it's really glitchy?
Yeah.
Yes. And
it doesn't save it or something. I know.
And it's so frustrating too, because again, that just takes more time. And it's like,
wait, are we talking about Amazon tools today?
We are talking about Amazon tools, but we kind of segued a little bit into Walmart, but bring it back to Amazon.
Well,
but
it is.
Tools are so established. So like how I feel about Amazon is like, okay, you have the tools that you have, and usually you have them because you like them, and then that's it. Like there's really like on Amazon, there's kind of no need to dabble into. First of all, there's like 20 million softwares, so it's going to be impossible to dabble into everything. So I feel like Amazon softwares is kind of based off of he say, she say. And then like you go and try maybe 2 and pick one. But the other thing is that they all offer so many different things that like we can all have, let's say Keepa, and all be using Keepa differently. Or we can all have Inventory Lab and literally be using it differently and not even realize it. Like I was in a community and we all had Inventory Lab, and like, well, I don't remember what it was, but this one girl was like, oh yeah, why are you guys doing it this way and why not this way? And we're like, wait, what? And so we're like, wait, share your screen, show us. And like her method literally cut like per item, it was like 2-3 minutes down. And we're like, how did we not know that? Like there's so many different ways. So I think it's just what works for you.
That's the beauty of Amazon, is because a lot of these softwares have been around so long, like they've had time to refine, and there's so many YouTube videos. So there's so much content made already out there on this stuff that you can really easily go to YouTube first, see how everybody's using it, and then decide. So I don't feel like we're going to be telling you anything revolutionary here, but I mean, there are some new players coming out with new things. I think everybody's trying, like in the last year, there's been such a shift on Amazon that the tools have to figure out how to change too. A lot of people have been kicked off. There's a whole community of people who have shifted to Walmart. So how do you catch that consumer again? So I think they are trying to be better, and it's interesting how these brands are changing, and to be better also. So it's interesting the stuff they're coming out with. And last year at Prosper, I remember asking a bunch of these softwares like, what do you have for Walmart? Nothing. Okay. And now this year at Prosper, everybody's trying to come out with something quickly.
Like by the end of the year.
Last year I remember multiple people said to me, it's not worth it. There's too much money to be made on Amazon. There's not enough interest. I heard everything. And a year later, wouldn't you know it? Like, if the men would listen to the women more, oh my God, we would say
the world would be a better place, Emily.
The world would be a better place. Like if we would put women in charge of these companies, and we would solve a lot of problems, immediately solved. So you should listen to me. It will be in my tell-all book with names. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yes. I think also, so like Amazon, the downfall to Amazon is that all of the fees are super confusing. But like the plus side is that all of these softwares, like for the most part, all incorporate the fees now. So it's like, for the most part, your bottom line. Whereas Walmart, it's like all these softwares haven't had time to refine. So like you don't have those benefits, but their fees are pretty straightforward. So really you could do it yourself manually, to be completely honest. Would it take forever? Probably, but you could do it, is the point.
Yeah.
So it's just,
Well, I gotta tell you, I did that big FBA shipment the other day, and I was like, okay, I did it on like the two different platforms. I did it on Amazon, I did Inventory Lab because I wanted to just see what it looked like and how Amazon, because they've changed the way that it looked. And it was actually pretty easy. Like
Yeah.
there was just a couple glitches, and I opened cases, and they actually got back to me right away. Like their seller support has really stepped up their game because I think they know people are sick of it and leaving.
Mhm.
So
They
they're
probably had to, yeah.
yeah, they're really trying to like be helpful. And then it told me, it was interesting because I told you, like, I kind of figured out if I send 5 identical shipments to Amazon, I don't pay any placement fees. So I did like 5 identical boxes. And then I was like, okay, I have 50 of this, 10 in each box. Okay, I have 100 of this, 20 in each box. And I didn't pay a single placement fee. I only had to pay shipping. And it was not bad. I sent 5 boxes that were each about 50 pounds. And I want to say, and they went all over the country because I said, okay, that's the cheapest, right? That's like if you do the Amazon optimized shipment or whatever, then you don't, again, like no other fee. And I want to say it was like $112 for 5 massive boxes, which for Amazon is not that bad. I mean, Walmart, we're paying $6.
Walmart, I would have like a stroke.
I know. Well, WFS is like $6 a box for a 200-pound box. But, you know, that's just kind of, unfortunately, like their partnered carrier stuff. And then I had a box that it was like I couldn't get that one item for whatever reason and it was glitching. So I was like, okay, I'm just sending one box, all the same thing. And it gave me a breakdown of like, if I ship to this location, this is my fee. If I ship to this location, this is my fee. It was interesting. It gave me 3 options of where I wanted to ship it.
Oh yeah.
So I could see like the placement fee and the shipping cost and which was actually going to be cheapest. And I was like, whoa, okay, this is new. Like since the last time I sent an FBA, like, thank you for being transparent with the fees and like the breakdown so I can make the best choice.
And I think if you are scaling Amazon FBA, I have used ScanPower, and I think a lot of the big companies are still loving ScanPower, using ScanPower, and hoping that they come out with something for Walmart as well, because a lot of those are already integrated. A lot of those companies are already integrated on Amazon, and they understand the system. And it's funny because I feel like Paul has such a cult following with his system over there, which is great. But I created a tutorial for ScanPower, and I love that. If you walk through it, number one, it's really easy, but he gives you that too, and you never have to log into your seller account. So a plug for ScanPower, user friendly. You never have to log through into Amazon. You can list merchant and FBA through ScanPower and track your numbers. So I felt like that system was really easy. If I was going back to Amazon to scale FBA again, I would probably use ScanPower. So another one if you wanted something different.
Yeah. I know. I just wanted to see what it looked like because I'm like, when's the last time I actually went in Amazon and did a shipment? Because it was just so complicated before that we had to have a software. Yeah. So it's interesting.
Slow. It was
what
so
they're
slow.
What they're working on, even like calculators and stuff. I mean, I think it's interesting where you tend to use their app for the calculator where like, I don't know. I like the way it looks desktop. I don't like the way it looks via app.
I actually like the way it looks on desktop better, but I feel like the Amazon app is like easier to use than a lot of the other like app options. Yeah. But I do like it better on the desktop because on the desktop you can see like the breakdown of all the placement fees and all that stuff. At least the last time I checked, you couldn't see that on the app. And now with all of like the regating, it's kind of nice to be able to see the stuff on the desktop than the app. Because sometimes like it'll show that it's ungated and then you go through the process of listing it and then it's like, just kidding, it's gated. And that's kind of annoying. But yeah, I don't know.
Wait, repricers. Anybody use one?
What'd you say?
Anybody use a repricer?
For Amazon, I do not. Okay. They're just so pricey, man. And like, I just feel like, okay, first of all, because I'm more focused on Walmart, I don't have that much inventory on Amazon. So let me start there. It's not worth the price because I can literally manually reprice. But even when I did have a large catalog on Amazon, I heard so many horror stories about repricers just like consistently tanking stuff to the bottom because everybody on the listing had a repricer. So then they would drop it to a penny, then everybody's just dropping until there's nothing left. And so then I've heard people have issues where the repricer, they had a min max set and it somehow still went below the min and they lost like thousands of dollars. And like, I've just heard so many horror stories, not to say that there's not any good ones out there because there are from what I hear, but just the horror stories was kind of enough for me to be like,
I want to know who's telling these repricers how to price their software.
Yeah. Why are they? I mean, unless you are a wholesaler, I'm like, it does not make sense to me.
Yeah.
Like how I obviously don't understand how much they're being charged for their software, but the amount they're charging small sellers is usually like, what? You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
usually for a small seller, the price is a lot to swallow up front.
It
When
is.
you're not making anything, you don't know how much of an improvement it's going to make to your business.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's going to lose you money up front, how long it's going to take to get set up. To be in a chunk of change is like,
Well, do they even look at the quantity the other sellers have, or they just look at you trying to have the buy box?
They depend on the repricer. There's several things they look at. I mean, they can all get pretty detailed. That's my biggest turnoff of all of these brands in the space. I do have names. I do have text. Okay, you guys go.
There are some softwares who like won't even give you that. They just want to give you the most they'll give you is like their free trial. And that's what I have a problem with too. Because it's like the amount of time that it takes to create content and then edit the content and then, you know, make your descriptions and all that. Like all that takes so much time. And you want me to do that in your 7-day trial or your 14-day trial? Like the least that you could do is give me this product for free for like for 2-3 months. So I can do this content. Yeah. So I can do it like, and then if I'm making content, then I have to know how your software works, which means I have to learn it.
Yeah. Can I say another one?
In 14 days?
If your stupid product is in beta, you shouldn't be charging people and then asking how it's working. You stupid people. Like you're charging people and then you're wanting them to pay you and to give you feedback. How stupid are you? Like, oh my God. I can't take it. We're gonna have to edit.
You can't pay product testers, and so now you want people to pay you to be their product testers.
If it's in beta, it should be for free. If you want advice, if you want, and Morgan and Jen are the best. Like if you want someone to come in and use your product and give you the experience, they will tell you. You guys are great at that.
Yes.
I'm not the one. Don't ask me. I'm not using it. Don't even ask me. But that kills me. All of these new softwares come out immediately. You created that stupid software yesterday, and then you're charging people $150, and then you're like, "Oh, there might be some kinks. Let us know."
Yeah, there was a software we had in the community. They came and did a demo, and they were like looking for people to be in their beta, and I was like so excited and like reach out to them. First of all, I got ghosted. And then like they came back and were like, "Oh, here's an exclusive invitation to the community." And so I'm like, okay. And then the reply back was like, I don't even remember how much it was, but it was a fee and it was kind of expensive. And I'm like, this isn't beta. Yeah. I was, there's a lot that definitely that turns me off about these softwares. Yeah. And then I'm like, these poor people who actually do make content for them, I'm like, please tell me you're not doing this for free.
Yeah.
Like,
well, there's some, like, there's one that was like, I know who you've had make your content and I know you're paying them, yet you want me to make you content and see how that goes. And then you might, I think no.
I can make more money.
You can at least give me either a year free or something because it's still my time.
Yeah.
So if you aren't sure if you want to use me, then don't. Like, I'm not doing all this just so you
don't message us. We're not the ones. We don't want to do your stupid free content. We're not interested. And we don't like your we don't like your product anyways. So, and you're ugly. So we don't want to do it.
She's in a mood.
Right? Are you in kindergarten?
My other thing is like, she's lost it. She's over it.
Okay, we'll just cut all that out.
She's going through a purge. I also like when things increase their prices too, and they don't give people a lot of small sellers, you're pricing out. Like we said, where are you getting your pricing from? I get that, but that you need to have tiers for smaller sellers because you literally, instead of them being like, wouldn't you want 100 users at $29 a month versus like 10 users at $400? You know what I mean? Like I don't know why and I understand the cost of software engineering. I get it. That's what my husband does for a living. I get it. It costs a lot to pay engineers to make this stuff, but I think it's better to have more users and you spread the word and people say good things about your product and just.
And here's the thing. If your software is cheaper, like for example, if it's $29 a month, somebody is more likely to just let that go month to month, even if they're not using it, versus a software that's like $199 a month. Like, because then you're like, okay, I'm not using this, like, gotta go, like, gotta cut it out. There's no need. So I think that's another thing too. Like, and then a lot of these softwares will be like, oh, well, there are tiers. And it's like, yeah, but your lowest tier is $200.
Yeah.
Like for a small seller, $200 a month is a lot, especially if you're focused on like clearance selling.
Or
like
part-time.
$200.
Yeah.
That's like 2 cartfuls, bro. Like, let's be real. So like it's like I can put this into the software or I can put this into inventory, which ultimately is going to make me the money. Like
Or when you
yeah.
guys were using, they had a software they liked and they dropped the section of it that they liked. You remember that bot? They dropped
Yeah.
the store bot, and then you guys
Yes.
reached out and were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Why did you do that?" And they were rude about it. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you went on a whole rampage and yelled at all the users and was like, "You don't want to be part, la la
Go
la."
find
Like,
somebody else.
yeah, go find someone else. And we're like, okay, well, you just charged us everybody yesterday for this software, and then the next day you drop the piece that's why everybody like that was the whole point of it. And so then we're all like, immediately refund me. Like, how
Yes.
convenient that you try to just charge hundreds of users, and we all went, no, like.
I wonder
Yeah.
how many people are still in there because that was kind of the point. Was that
It was literally that was how they marketed it.
Yeah.
Like we're bringing the price point down for sir, you only have access to this, you don't have access to all the other stuff. Fine,
Yeah.
that's all I use anyways. And then just kidding, we're gonna get rid of that. Well, then why am I here? Because now I have access to nothing. I'm just paying you every month for fun. Because I don't really like to keep
think of
money.
how many people don't check their emails and probably didn't even like
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, because
notice.
people don't, I mean, it definitely was a software that you use when it's a busy selling time, not a slow selling time. And at that price point, again, like you're probably not checking it and paying attention. You're like, oh, I'll just let it go. And
Yep.
out went 50, $60. And you're like, wait a minute, where the heck is this thing when you go log back in?
Agreed.
Crazy.
all right, let's talk about somebody else we hate now. Yeah.
Okay. Immediately, no.
Oh my gosh, you're so
Emily
funny.
is on one today. She's
I
ready
know.
for vacation.
Well, you're doing your big purge, so you're in a purging mood.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited for you. That's the other like fun part of selling, which we should have a whole episode about that of like when is the time to get rid of it and move on. Because I told you I just took a whole carload of stuff. I was like, clear out, I'm done. Go to someone that can use you.
Doesn't it release all the endorphins after you drop it all off? You're like, okay, I'm
Now I
so
can
much
start over.
lighter.
Yes. I was like, we have cabinets open in the garage now, like room in our closet. I mean, we had 3 bikes that we were not using. I was like, 3 bikes. Why?
Yeah.
Like, nobody's riding these.
You have to take pictures and we'll put it in the next podcast episode.
Yeah.
Or whichever one where we talk about like summer slowdown, we'll put the pictures in there because
she
had storage.
My whole car full. I took pictures of the car full because it was like open the trunk and it was just like the whole car was full of boxes and clothes and toys. And she had
like,
kid when they're in a mood and they want like their iPad or something, then they will purge the toys that they've had since they were 2. They will finally let them go.
I just go in there when they're not there and just.
Well, he remembers everything. And so he would be the kid that like a year from now be like, where is my Blue's Clues?
I don't know.
End table. Oh my gosh, really?
That's funny.
I tell my kids if they don't clean up their stuff, I'm going to clean it up and then it's going to go into the magical place. And about a year, maybe 2 years ago, they figured out that the magical place meant the trash can. And for the most part, now that they get all their stuff up, for the most part, there's still some stuff where like I'm like trash. I just bought this and this makes me so mad to throw it away, but I don't even care, trash. Or I give it away to like kids in the neighborhood. I'm like, well, you obviously didn't want it. I told you to pick it up out the middle of the floor 3 times. And you walked right past.
Okay, this doesn't sound so bad. Do you guys ever like re-gift gifts that your kids have never opened?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Stuff that I don't sell
in the box and like he never even opened from a birthday party. I was like, dude, that's why like, a couple years ago I was like, start asking for gift cards because
this is a waste.
Just save it up so you can use it towards something like you actually need. Like
so stuff that I don't sell, I definitely have regifted.
Yeah,
some Barbies and Nerf toys.
We would say we're like, go shopping for it's so and so's birthday. Go shopping in mommy's closet. Like
yes, definitely. We have 3 storage units plus my eBay store, which I had like 900 items in. So all of that is going into our, which we're calling it an estate and liquidation sale.
I mean, at this point,
it is.
So plus that doesn't include like our offices, our kids' stuff. My mom has brought over stuff. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you still have to price it.
So today, after this, which that's like behind me is a bunch of crap because as I'm going through everything, I'm like, oh, I should have listed this on Walmart. So I'm like, some stuff I'm like, can I even list it? Like it's stuff I bought. So I'm making sure I can list it. Stuff that is damaged, I can't list. I'm just quickly throwing it in 2 piles. Like I can't actually get this listed or I can't. A bunch of stuff I had to do. I went through all of our closets and got boxes of shoes out because my kids, we go to the thrift store a lot. So we always buy shoes because my kids always need shoes. But then that means we all have like 10 pairs of shoes and went through a bunch of shoes. So that, I have 4 kids, so we have a lot of shoes. So just going through everybody's stuff, but yes, so we're renting a U-Haul. And yes,
Insane.
because if we don't rent a U-Haul, it's going to take so long.
So many
Yeah.
trips. Yeah.
Yeah, so we start cleaning everything out today. And I didn't even think about pricing. Like I haven't even put effort into that part of it yet. And
You know what I do? I take like tarps or tables, and I'm like, everything in this one is like $1. Everything on this one is like $5.
Yeah.
And I just separate them, and then I just try to watch the people to make sure they're not being like the shady people that are like, this was on the $5. But it was like,
yes, maybe I'll do like stickers, like
The
we should
pre-written ones.
install, and
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know how it goes. I'll take
Sounds
pictures.
Okay.
We got way off task. Let's
yeah, we did.
let's do one on summer slowdown, and we'll catch back up on all this. So hopefully you actually learned something about Amazon tools. We kind of squirreled on this episode.
We'll have to edit out all of the cussing.
Yeah, thanks. What the gist of it is, try them, see if you really need them. The only thing you probably really need is Keepa, and then the rest is up to you to figure out what works best for your business. Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.